On this episode of the Third and Thirsty podcast, we're going to review the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders season. Did they meet expectations, surpass them, or did they fall way short like the Raiders did? Who broke out? What players? Where do we think the turning point was? We'll go over all kinds of different stuff. Let's get into it now. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome into the Third and Thirsty podcast. Your one-pot stop for Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Kansas City referee and Taylor Swift free. AFC West banter. I'm Alex Bell, fan of the Denver Broncos. To my left, Omar Rubio. He's a fan of the Chargers. To my right, Edgar Larios. He's a fan of the Raiders. And the season's officially over. We're going to break down, recap the season for each team, go over what we thought was a success, what we thought was the turning point, favorite game, and how the season ended going into compared to expectations going into the season. How you guys feel about that? Good?
Yeah. Obviously, we're going to put our own little spin on things. We're also going to have our season IPAs and season Seltzers, who we thought was, our best player and worst player on our team.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good season for some teams, some not as good.
Nope.
There's
hope. There's hope.
Future maybe looking bright.
There's a hope in the
Maybe.
future.
No, it's the Raiders. They'll always find a way to fuck it up.
Just like Alex, we're back.
They're not back.
We're back.
So far from being back.
We got our coach. We're getting our quarterback. We're back.
Yeah, you were so far from being back.
Yeah, that's how you sounded like 2 years ago.
Hey, I was right. Just because I was right don't mean you're going to be right.
Hey, you never know. You better hope not, because, dude.
Edgar got so much built up anger to let loose on us. If this season goes anywhere near what he wants it to be, this upcoming season, then we're in big trouble for
I literally have no worry about it. They're always going to be the Raiders. They're always going to suck ass. Yeah, they're going to have to end up paying another fucking head coach next year. They're going to have 8 head coaches that they're paying. So let's get into it. I think we're going to go in order of the division standings, which reminder to Edgar, the Raiders finished last. So we'll do the Raiders.
That's why we got first pick.
Yeah. We'll do the Raiders last, and then another reminder that the Broncos did finish first in the division and actually first in the conference. So let's go with the Broncos. We said we're going to talk about how the season went compared to expectations. We did our preseason record predictions last year, and we had the Broncos finishing at 12-5, I believe.
Yeah, they're on there. Yeah.
So obviously exceeded that. Broncos finishing 13-4. Love that. Or I'm sorry, 14-3. God damn, I'm already forgetting how the season went.
He's already trying to forget what happened.
So 14-3, obviously not 13-4. 13-4 is for weak ass teams. So 14-3, man. I mean, you certainly can't complain about that. If you told Bronco fans going into this season last year that the Broncos would finish 14-3, first place in the division, first place in the conference, and would be hosting the AFC Championship game, and would lose that game only because Bo Nix broke his fucking ankle, you definitely say it's a success, right? I mean, you guys aren't going to push back on that.
Oh, I definitely can season. If I wanted to, if I could really try to spin it. But no, the Broncos, I would say that was a pretty successful season.
Yeah.
As much as I want to hate on them, and I really want to hate on them.
You can't.
The numbers are there. They did what they did. Still didn't beat Chargers team that was trying to actually win a game, but
yeah, the Charger fans really hold on to that because that's all they have. So, yeah, I mean, you're looking for a couple of things for a successful season. Obviously, record and how you do it in the playoffs, but also looking towards growth towards the future as well. So, looking at your second-year quarterback, does he have a sophomore slump or does he take the next step? You guys could try to push back on this all you want, but Bo Nix obviously took that next step. Won a playoff game against one of the best quarterbacks in the league, arguably the best quarterback in the league, in Josh Allen. May have had a couple of games that he'd like to forget. I definitely would like to forget. The Raiders game was one of them. There's a couple other stinkers in there, here and there, but every quarterback has a bad game. For some reason, Bo's always gets amplified by the media and talked about and used as an excuse for saying that he's not a, top 10, top 15 quarterback, which that's something we could talk about this year or off season, where we think Bo Nix ranks. I think I'll have him higher than you guys did.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
But you look at that. There was questions about the defense going into the season, whether or not they were going to be able to repeat what they did the year prior in 2024. They certainly did that as well, and in some areas exceeded that, leading the season or leading the league in sacks and almost breaking the record. They were on pace to do it for a while, tapered off there a little bit at the end. Of course, they had their bad games too, but when it mattered most in the playoff game against the Bills and then even the Patriots that they ended up losing, they went out there and performed. Bills game, they gave up a lot of yards, but they also came away with 5 turnovers, so that wins games.
Yeah, I mean, those turnovers, not to get too deep into the game there against the Bills, but it wasn't just the defense putting it. It was maybe a little bit of Josh Allen trying to do a little too much.
Well, and then you take advantage of it.
At the end of the day, they still got those takeaways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think this season for the Broncos was a huge success. I said going into the year, I would love for the Broncos to win the Super Bowl this season, but I certainly didn't expect it to happen. I felt like they were a year away. I'm still going to stick with it. If Bo Nix doesn't break his ankle, the Broncos are playing this week in the Super Bowl and would have a chance. I think they'd be underdogs, but I'd have faith that they'd be able to go in there and pull something off. But we'll never know. But I have to say, the Broncos are ahead of schedule for sure. When you're looking at the Sean Payton reign, whatever you use, where do you want to use? I mean, he's been in there for 3 years now. You kind of give him a pass on the first one because it was with Russell Wilson, quarterback that he didn't have any faith in and didn't want. And then the 2 years with Bo Nix, you see growth year over year. And with success in the NFL, it's not always linear. So we'll talk about expectations for next season and what would be considered a failure. But in this case for the Broncos, it is. They won 8 games the first year with Sean, 10 and then 14. So continued growth. Like to see that. Definitely want to see more from the offense this year. That's probably why they moved on from their offensive coordinator and hired.
They had one?
Yeah,
Apparently.
Lombardi.
The gum getter.
Yeah.
He just gets gum.
Did you see his interview? He was so brokenhearted.
Well, he worked with Sean for a long time, so
And he knows he's not going to get another
he's like-
OC job ever in his life.
maybe. Yeah, so definitely want to see more from the offense next year. That's for sure. But like what we're seeing from Bo, need some playmakers for him. Definitely need a J.K. Dobbins to not get hurt again.
That's a high ask there. That's a big ask for J.K. Dobbins not to get hurt.
No.
As much as I love him, but
So definitely a success. Yeah. You guys have any thoughts on that?
they definitely exceeded expectations. I thought they'd be, playing behind the Chargers. I mean, they were, I feel like, a more complete team. They had luck on their side, not too many crazy injuries, which was going to help anybody, even the worst team in the league. If they have no injuries, they're at the end of the season, they'll probably look a lot better than they did at the beginning just because they have a more complete team.
I'll push back on that a little bit. The Broncos did come up with some injuries. I think the luck came where it wasn't like an onslaught of injuries until the last game. But, you lose Patrick Surtain, the reigning defensive player of the year, for 4 games. They ended up winning all 4 of those. You lose your right guard for a couple of games there, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. He was out for a while. And, guys like Brandon Jones, the safety you lose week 14, 15, he never comes back. So the Broncos definitely had their injuries, but they were able to fight through them. And then, of course, the big one at the end there with Bo Nix, you just can't get through and losing your quarterback in the AFC Championship game. So they had some injuries, some significant injuries, but they didn't get decimated at one specific position until, again, the AFC Championship game where you're looking at the wide receiver room and Elijah Moore is making his first start as a Bronco coming up from
Humphrey.
and Lil Jordan Humphrey getting a ton of play.
Such a dope name.
It is a tight name. So, yeah, I mean, you obviously talking as a Charger fan who always has injuries every single year because they're a poverty franchise and they can't bring in somebody that's going to manage that. But, so they obviously
injuries are freak injuries. You get hurt, you get hurt. It's just happens. It's a game of attrition. It's a game of that somebody's going to get hurt or could get hurt on every single play.
Yeah, freak injuries do happen in football, of course, but also leading the league in injuries damn near every single season. You kind of have to look at that and say, is there something maybe that they're doing wrong?
They've changed training staffs. They've done different things. It's just, I just look at the draw.
Again, it's poverty. They just can't figure shit out. So
Yeah, let's get some bionic like arms and legs in there, and nothing will ever happen.
He'll still will be able to finish the season. But what I was gonna say about the Broncos season, honestly, yeah, they really did. Bo Nix really did like shut up a lot of doubters, haters, I would say. He did have a really good season. It wasn't always like on the highest, but just like any other quarterback, he made his mistakes. But because he was surrounded with a good team, when he would make turnovers, that team was still it. The defense was able to give him back the ball, and he would shake it off and just continue playing his game. And Sean Payne would always call a good game for him and everything. So that was good for him. I mean, yes, he had some his moments. I'm not gonna lie,
a lot of Bronco fans would disagree with you there,
but the one thing that was like very shocking to me, because honestly, like during the offseason of last year, I thought this defense was going to be a shutdown defense, which they did. They have turnovers, a lot of sacks, just a lot of too many close games, And yeah, there weren't super high scoring games, but some of those games were pretty close or in super high, kind of like against the Giants. I get it, whatever. But at the end of the day, that was a solid defense. They were still, top two. So, I mean, for me, it was kind of weird, like seeing them pretty close in those games, but still dominant defense, still did the job, still got the dub. So I can't really, there's nothing bad on it, but for me, that was just the weird part. Just a lot of close games.
well, yeah, I mean, they were still a top 5 scoring defense. Those close games, a lot of them was just the Broncos were scoring 7 points.
Yeah,
like against the Raiders, that Thursday night game, that abomination that we had to watch, everyone in the country.
Yeah, everybody was hating that one, but for me, after a horrible season and that defense, I thought it was going to be 45-0 at least by halftime or something. Kind of like by like the Kansas City Chiefs where it was like 35-0 when we lost. I thought it was even close to that.
Again, poverty franchise. Like, yeah, well, we almost won that time. That was cool. We almost won.
No.
So get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we all say it's a success for sure. Surprise player for the Broncos. There wasn't a lot of holes on the roster, so you can't really look at it and be like, we thought we had a hole here, but we ended up having a guy that filled it and played pretty well. But one guy that I think of immediately is Jaquan McMillan. The Broncos drafted a Barron in the first round, and it looked like they were just going to be getting rid of Jaquan there. But he stepped up and played and kept himself on the field. And you have to say he's probably definitely one of the top slot corners in the league now. A guy that came in undrafted, had a good year in 2024, but found a way to make it even better this year. Has some really big moments. The pick 6 against the Chargers, some big plays there in the playoff game against the Bills. Just a guy that's all over the field. He's a restricted free agent this year, so hopefully the Broncos could keep him around. But, yeah, I mean, if I have to say a player that definitely exceeded expectations, it would be Jaquan McMillan.
He's going to get a lot of money for that.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope it's with the Broncos.
I don't know if they'll be with the Broncos, though.
We'll find out.
With Jade Barron, right? Jade there?
Yeah.
I would feel like they would want to get cheaper.
I'm sure this year got him a good contract for whatever team he goes to next year.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's the Broncos. We'll see. We'll get into free agency
Well, you said
stuff,
restricted, so they also ultimately
They'll
have
be able
the chance to match.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. But, yeah, Jaquan, big part of the defense. And, there's other guys on there, too, that could have talked about. But, Jonah Ellis had a really good year. And, a couple other players that stand out. But he's definitely the top guy for sure. When you're talking about a turning point for the season, you got to talk about Patrick Surtain's pick against the Packers. If you remember that game, that was starting to get away from the Broncos a little bit there. And that deep pass that Love threw over the middle there, and PS2 able to step in and make that interception. That game could have went one of two ways. If that catches completed, they go down and score again. It kind of feels like the game's out of reach at that point. But getting the ball back for the offense and then be able to score. So definitely would have to go with that. PS2, that would make it 2 years in a row where the turning point of the season comes off of PS2 pick. And that's the benefit of having the best corner in the league. So, yeah. You guys have anything on that? And I'm just kind of rifling through these at this point.
No, that was a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I was gonna say J.K. just before he got hurt. He really solidified that position, that running back position.
Yeah, it was definitely a turning point in the negative way for sure.
When he went down,
No,
that'd be a turning point.
But I'm like, he solidified until he. That's what I'm saying. Until he got hurt. Like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, that would even be a good turning point. I think just because after that, you guys almost became one-dimensional.
Big time.
Not crazy one-dimensional because they were still trying to run the ball.
Yeah.
They were having some success.
Not a lot. They were a top 5 running team when he was there. When he went down, I think they were bottom 8.
Yeah. So they had a little bit of success, maybe a little bit more passing to dump offs to the running back, but that would definitely be a turning point because that kind of had other teams, gave them something to key in on. Being able to key in that they can't really run the ball that great, so try to stop the pass.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Yeah, so.
And it showed in the playoffs. I mean, also not having Bo Nix, but the running game.
That also hurts.
No,
yeah,
but you would think that the running game, they're like, all right, we don't have Bo Nix. We got to run the shit out of this ball. And
right.
It
just weren't able to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you have J.K. Dobbins on that team in that game, and you feel a lot more comfortable about being able to go in and win. Patriot fans, you have to know that you guys got gifted that shit, man. The closer we get to the Super Bowl, the more pissed I get about that. Favorite game that represented the season would have to be the AFC Championship game, man. Losing to the Patriots. I'm joking.
I thought you were going to say, was the week before when the Jags lost? I thought that would have been your favorite game.
That was pretty sweet. Watching the Jaguars lose was awesome. That small market team. Bunch of fucking bitch-ass fans. But no, in all seriousness, favorite game, I mean, that represented the team and the season as a whole. It has to be the game against the Giants, which I was lucky enough to be in attendance for. The whole first 3 quarters was just a shit show. Couldn't get anything going on offense. And then to drop 33 points in the fourth quarter and win that game was nuts, So that would definitely be it represented the team because they were a team that could come back from tough spots, being down 19 to nothing going into the fourth quarter. It's a pretty tough spot to be in, and to be able to pull it off, just showed the resiliency of the team, and just what Bo Nix can do when he's down like that.
You could have gone with resiliency, reluctancy.
I spent 5 days at Disneyland, man. My brain is fried. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I have to go with that for sure. Yeah. I mean, and it was an awesome game. Honoring Super Bowl 50 team, honoring Demaryius Thomas at halftime.
How those similarities play out again?
Demaryius Thomas.
No, not just the Super Bowl 50 team and 2015, 2025.
I don't know if you want to keep talking shit on this.
I will, because you kept on bringing it up.
We'll just keep doing. How did the similarities work out with Justin Herbert playing in a playoff game? Exactly the fucking same. Just
different, but the same outcome.
Yeah, because he's dog shit in the playoffs. Yeah, so definitely have to go with that. And then, lastly, high and low point. They happen within about half hour of each other. So that one's really easy. Winning your first playoff game in a decade, beating Josh Allen, seeing Bo Nix step up, win the game twice, on 2 game-winning drives, really. And then, being the second quarterback that the Broncos drafted to take the team to the AFC Championship game, the other one obviously being John Elway. The first one to win a playoff game, drafted quarterback since Tim Tebow. So, look, I mean, that was awesome. It doesn't get any higher than that. You go and now you're going to be playing in the AFC Championship game at home, and then you're scrolling on your phone 30 minutes later and see that Bo Nix broke his ankle and that the season was essentially over. So it doesn't get much lower than that. And it didn't even happen on the fucking football field, which is even worse. So, yeah, I mean, that's the high and low point for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't get any higher or lower than that, honestly.
No.
Instead, we trust.
Yeah, in Stiddy we trusted. Yeah,
We'll
it
see,
didn't work out. Okay, let's move on then.
Getting into the Chargers?
Yeah, let's get to the Chargers. Yeah, before we do that, anyone sticking around, watching us on YouTube, really appreciate that. Thank you. We're going to be doing one episode a week during the off season here, and we'll go back to 2 episodes during this season. So subscribe to us. Follow us on Instagram. Like this comment, leave a comment. Like this comment and leave a comment. Like this video, leave a comment. And I'm going to take a little break from talking here because my brain is it's running out of juice. I'm going to hand it over to Omar to talk about the Chargers and tell us a little bit about how the season went and compared to expectations going in. We had the Chargers
around 12 wins.
You
had
did.
them at 12 wins. I think
As a podcast,
we had them at 9.
8. I think 8 or 9 wins. Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit long.
Going through
No,
their
we
schedule.
had them. Oh, you guys had them going less than 10 wins.
We had them losing their first 3 games.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
That was like Omar's highest point of the season.
Probably.
All downhill from there.
We'll see. Right now. But yeah, like I said, they exceeded your guys' expectations. They definitely exceeded my expectations in the way that we already talked about it. All the injuries, you lose your stud left tackle before the season starts. 3 games in, you lose your other stud left tackle who moved over from the right side. You lose your arguably number 1 running back, Najee Harris, having a rookie come in. So I would think that Najee was going to be their number 1. Game 1, I think. Then you go, or yeah, it might have been game 1, game 2.
It was early.
Yeah. And then you still lose your number 2 running back for an extended period of time. So just in that, within the first 3 weeks, most people's seasons are over. Who's going to be able to live without 2 running backs and 2 tackles?
Yeah.
Most teams are that's the end of the season.
Yeah, the tackles especially.
Yeah. And it showed. With as much as Justin Herbert got hit, he was the highest hit quarterback all season by a long shot. And other quarterbacks that were below him, like next up, were like just like rookies, guys that don't know what they're doing out there, trying to fill spots.
Well, not all of them were rookies, but
Gino, obviously, which, I mean, might as well have played a rookie at that point.
I wish.
But, yeah, to me, that was just very telling that this is a Jim Harbaugh-led team, that they just didn't let that get them down, that they still found a way to win games. They still found a way to get to 11 wins without all those players. That to me was wild, to lose out on potentially 2 All-Pros and a guy that hadn't missed any games and also been a 1,000-yard rusher every season in the league. To lose out on
He
that.
hasn't missed any games in this moment. He plays for the Chargers. He misses a season.
The Chargers are cursed, bro. I'm telling you, they're a cursed franchise.
He also shot himself in the eye with a firework,
Oh,
so
that's
that
right.
might.
No, that's right. Totally forgot that was one of the part of the
Forgot
injury.
about
Dude,
that.
I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that.
So I mean, his
What
season
a
got off to a
stupid
slow
dumbass.
start. He was sitting out most of the training camp. He got in there like a week before, and he said he was good to go. And first couple, like I want to say, in the first half of that first game, he just went down. That was his season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going into the season, you had them winning 12 games?
I
you
had
said?
them around 12 wins. I figured that they wouldn't do any worse than the year before, but they wouldn't take that big of a leap because they didn't really add too much to the team.
Yeah.
I figured they'd stay pretty even keel, which they did. 11 wins, 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And Harbaugh coming in, so
Yeah. And then in regards to how the season ended, can we remember what I think we said for the Chargers as well, you'd want to see at least one playoff win.
yeah. Obviously, that didn't happen. Obviously, Justin Herbert you could tell that he was already running for the hills as soon as he got the ball. You could tell that they told him, like, you're not going to have any time. So as soon as your first read isn't there, tuck it in and go.
Yeah, he looked like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to act like it was just that game where he had a bad offensive line. He had a bad offensive line all season, and he played well because he's a regular season quarterback. But as soon as the lights get bright, he just shits his pants.
Yeah, he did that with a broken hand, surgery, played in his hand. Played that the last
did that multiple
5-6
games
weeks, yeah.
Yep.
And you could see that in any game besides against the Chiefs. Was it against the Chiefs where he put up a good offensive number? Besides that, all the other games were not good offensive outputs. Oh no, it wasn't against the Chiefs. It was against the Cowboys, whose defense is dog shit.
Right. Yeah, they are pretty
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at their offensive output, their offense was not good the last 4 games. Their defense is what really showed out, and that's what won them games at the end of the season. That's when I felt like the season, their team was a lot better and overachieved because of their defense.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of their offense.
Still, the worst take I think we've ever had on this podcast was Omar saying that the Chargers was a better defense than the Texans.
At the moment, not overall the whole season. I'll agree 100% with you guys for that, because at that moment in that game, I feel like the Chargers defense played better. And then in those 4 games after the bye, 4 or 5 games, that defense was, I feel like, if we broke it down, probably number 1 in the league, or at least top 3.
They were playing really well at the time.
Yeah,
they were playing
top
well.
5.
Yeah,
so,
weren't better than the Texans.
Like I said, I'm not trying to put the Texans down. They had a really good defense. They showed it all season, but at that point, I think the Chargers are just a little bit better on defense.
Yeah. Okay, so at the end of the day, if you told a Charger fan back in August, lose your 2 tackles, lose a couple running backs, still win 11 games, finish 2nd in the division, 7th seed, and then lose in the playoffs, and Justin Herbert has a terrible, shitty game again.
Yeah.
Would you feel like a success? Would you have taken that, or would you have said, no, that's not good?
Losing all those players, I think I take it. Losing all those players. Even though just at the end of the day, Justin Herbert doesn't look any better than he did the last playoff game.
Looks worse.
Arguably, yeah. So I take it just because, like I said, how do you even get Justin Herbert to the end of the line there without your 2 tackles, with the probably worst interior offensive line in the league as well? Not just your outside, but your inside
really bad.
Really bad. So
Yeah.
every time towards the end of the year, every time he took a big hit, I'm like, is he going to get up? Is he going to be able to continue? But every time he just scraped himself off the ground. Sometimes he needed help, but didn't miss it down, stayed in there. And like I said, even with a broken hand, still dogged it out. So like I said, I take it. I feel like it was a successful season given everything that came with it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you'd have to say it's kind of success given the circumstances, but I mean, at the end of the day, and I talk a lot of shit about Justin Herbert just because it makes you upset and it's fun. Same with any Charger fan online as well. He's become if man on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have seen that. No. Charger fans just always say if with Justin Herbert, so he's become the if man. And it's true. He always gets excuses made for him. And I think as a Charger fan, you have to be concerned about the way he plays in the playoffs. I mean, he's had 3 games, and there's no doubt, no one could deny that 2 of them rank in the top 5 worst performances of his career, and they happen to have in the playoffs. So
yeah,
it's kind of 2 of them.
Yeah, I agree.
The third one, we'll kind of give him a small little bit of a pass, but it still wasn't a great game. And excuse me, so that would have to be super concerning as a Charger fan. Your quarterback, who is super talented. I mean, if you just look at raw talent alone, Justin Herbert is probably a top 3, 4, 5 quarterback in the league. Mm-hmm. But when the time comes for him to perform, he doesn't do it.
It also goes along with the offensive coordinator. I started looking at
Here
what
we go.
he had
Here's
done.
the excuses.
No, I just started looking at what he had done. Oh, okay? Here we go. Let's see excuses.
See, I told you it's fun.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that the offensive coordinator. I started looking at all his offensive outputs in any playoff game. I don't think he scored more than 20. His teams never scored more than 20 points in a playoff game.
Damn, so that was like the worst combination possible. Right?
Yeah, it was honestly. But I mean, we'll get into what the Chargers are going to look at in the future with new pieces coming in. But as of right now, yeah, you got it nailed down that Herbert hasn't been good in the playoffs as of now. The last couple times, and he's really has to show out to be able to start to turn that around.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean,
Even a win, I don't think, and even if it's a convincing win, I don't think turns it completely around. I think it's like if they go on a little bit of a run next year, win 2 games and then lose, even if they are playing on wild card weekend as maybe a number 3 or 4 seed, then and they still win one, win another, and then lose, that would maybe alleviate some of that.
I don't know. I think it's all a psychological thing with Justin Herbert not being able to perform in the playoffs. So I think if he gets one, even if it's not something that he is the main contributor to, like the defense just holds someone to, 7 points and his 4 interceptions aren't isn't going to be enough to hold him back from scoring 10 points.
That's something
I think that kind of gets him over the hump.
That's something I was going to ask. I'm like, what if
just like the monkey off the back type of thing.
What if you guys get to the playoffs and literally, nobody's hurt. You guys play the game and you guys just lose.
I already said it this year. Like he didn't have a good game. I'm not trying to.
No. I'm just saying. So after that, like, what? It just
you can't go away from him. You owe him so much money. You already have him there. He is a good quarterback, just not.
He's a great quarterback
in the playoffs. It's got to be something that you're invested in it, and you got to have figured out. At least he's giving you the opportunity to be there and try to figure it out.
Yeah. No, I know that's a really tough position to be in.
Yeah.
For sure. So, yeah, I mean, he's really going to have to show next season that, even if they win the 1 seed and they get the home field advantage and they get the first round bye, like that pressure is going to be immense for him to be able to go in there and have a good game and actually pull off a win. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm already looking forward to September.
Yeah, hopefully they're not running a medieval offense. So,
but the one thing that I will say is this:
if
I didn't say if. I just hopefully they're not.
The one thing I will say is this, though: the defense definitely surprised me, especially towards the end of the season. I did say in the beginning of the season that it was one of the things where I was going to be like, I don't know, man, that defensive line, especially. I don't know if they were, because in your past, the Chargers have always had trouble stopping the run or at least controlling it, especially yes, have controlling in the beginning of the season, but towards the end, it's kind of like when injuries start kicking in and everything. And last year, it felt like you guys had it under control. This past season, y'all let a lot of players go, but your defense was still solid. I feel like that's definitely what carried you guys into the playoffs. But, injuries did catch up. I will say that it would be interesting to see how Herbert does play with all his, team, his offense around him. And I still think he's a really good quarterback. I will give him, as a Raider fan who doesn't have a quarterback or offense or a team that goes to the playoffs at all, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he doesn't have his offense with them when he goes to the playoffs, or especially this year. But it is a little bit concerning that every season, he's been twice already, and it is because of him.
Yeah,
out of the 3, I guess.
No, yeah, it's all those are very valid points. Mm. I don't disagree with any of them.
Yeah,
and as a Chargers fan, I want to disagree with them. I want to be there and I want to stick up for my guy, but at this point, it's like I got to see it too. You know?
No doubt.
Yeah. What's the next?
Let's move on. Let's kind of rifle through these here. So, player for the Chargers that was kind of a surprise.
I'm gonna have to go with somebody that was a beast. He showed it in game 1 of the season by bitch slapping Travis Kelce. Tier Tart. Last year he played in spurts. He showed some things here and there, but he wasn't a full-time player. They let go of their best, I would say, at that point, interior defensive lineman. They let him walk. Puna Ford, he went away, but they brought Tier Tart back on a 1-year deal again. Kind of like, all right, you were okay last year. Let's see what you do with a little bit more playing time this year. And, man, did he show up.
And paid off for him, too. He signed that extension, so he's
Mhm.
good to go, man.
Exactly. So
Yeah, he had a good year.
yeah.
But
That
yeah, the
first
coolest
game-
thing he did for sure was
that
slap the
first
shit out
game.
of Travis Kelce.
Hey, after
That is
that,
fact.
I was like, "Oh, we got a dog."
Yeah.
And he just kept doing it all year long. I mean,
Slapping Travis Kelce.
no, being a dog, like,
Yeah.
you know, you need somebody like that. Maybe he might cause like a little 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalty here
You
and
take that.
there.
You
but
take that for sure.
Exactly. You take that for the toughness,
You set the tone for the game,
the
man.
tenacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're that as a interior defensive lineman. You got to be that type of person.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
can't go in there and like, oh hey, hopefully we have a good game. Good luck. No, you're going in there to destroy the person across from you.
Yeah, for sure.
And then,
Yeah.
then there's nothing else about it. So that to me was the surprise player of the year.
Yeah, totally. What about turning point? Turning point for the season for the Chargers was
I'll say it again. Actually, I'll say it in a better way after the bye. After the bye, when they got their ass beat by the Jaguars, I felt like the
that's right.
defense literally went home or went to the locker room the next day. Jesse Minter said, "Look at yourself in the mirror. Is that the team that just got their ass beat, or are you the team that's gonna fucking turn
was
it
this
around?"
his actual speech?
No, but this is me saying it.
I was gonna say, man, no offense. I mean, Justin Minter is a damn good coach, so I'm sure he came up with something.
No,
better than
yeah,
that.
but I'm just saying, like he
That sounded
basically-
like some Disney movie shit.
He basically,
I think I saw it in a movie once.
but he basically said, like, honestly, you guys are fucking better than this.
Yeah,
fucking
for
act like it. And they went out and did it for the rest of the season. Through the playoff game, that was still a good defensive output. I feel like for them, they gave up 16 points to the team that's going into the Super Bowl. I thought that was a good defensive output.
Yeah, Broncos gave up 10. God damn it.
Snow.
We beat them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No. I mean, good one. Jesse Minter's speech was this the turning point for.
Look at yourself. No, but getting their ass beat.
Yeah, for
Getting
sure.
their ass beat.
Yeah.
That was the turning point. They
Yeah.
really turned it on after that.
Okay. All right. Favorite game of the year that kind of represented the season for the Chargers was.
It's not going to be one. It's going to be the first three. I think
How did that represent the season?
because I guess not represent the season, how good they could have been before they got hurt.
Oh, okay.
You know, that represented the season because they got hurt, and then after that, it was a struggle to find who they were.
Yeah. Okay,
And then
that
at
makes
the end of the
sense.
season, they were like, okay, we're not an offensive team, we're a defensive team, and let's lean into that. And
Yeah.
you could tell that that's what they did in the last couple games. Maybe not going for it as much on fourth, going for that punt, trying to pin them back, trying to let their defense, get them in maybe a better position.
Right.
So that's it is a little, off the wall there, how I kind of flipped
No,
it.
it makes sense.
But yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. High and low point for the Chargers this season was.
the high point for me was seeing Odafe Owe, do what he does with just getting like pass rushing snaps. He had no sacks in 5 games with the Ravens. He came over and had like 10 sacks with the Chargers. So for me, like what he was able to do, able to turn that defense into special packages that they were able to put him in with Khalil Mack and Thule. That was a big changing point for me.
Okay.
That was good for me.
And the low point.
Low point, I got to go with the game against the Giants where they lost Joe Alt. They lost not Najee Harris because he was already gone, but they lost Amarian Hampton, and they
Lost the game.
Lost the game to them because they lost those players. Like,
Yeah.
in that game, you're not ready for those 2 players to go out. You're kind of focusing that these are our guys still, and Hampton was just turning it on after getting like the full bulk of the carries. So I think that was the low point
Yeah,
for
that
the
makes
Chargers.
sense. Yeah. Especially since the Giants ended up being a pretty shitty team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Was there anything else for the Chargers we wanted to add on the final stamp of the 2025 season?
No, just that it is looking like more of a Jim Harbaugh led team.
Yeah.
They're not playing down to their competition as much, except for that game. Obviously, you lose your players, you lose key guys. Sometimes you can't go scheme around that, but they are looking more like a Jim Harbaugh team. Like I said, losing all those players. If they weren't led by Jim Harbaugh, it probably would have been another season that they're barely winning 6-7 games.
Yeah.
6-7. God, why do you keep doing that?
Dude, you're the only one, man.
I do it to my kid because he says it's cringy now, so I do it to annoy him.
I was just gonna say, the 3 days we spent at Disneyland Park, I didn't hear one time, not once.
Yeah, they're not about
that was
it,
the
so I do it on purpose.
That was the fastest death of a meme ever. Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the Raiders. The Raiders ended up winning 2 games.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
no. But hey, relax. We won 3.
Was it 3?
Yeah. We beat Kansas City.
Oh, God damn it. That's right.
And you helped them get a top 10
big
pick.
stupid dumbasses. Raiders are so
Can't
good at
even
the
lose
end of
right.
the season doing stupid ass shit like
Here
that.
goes a number 5, top 5 defense scared of because Kansas City's going to get a top 10 pick, and the Chargers supposedly getting all scared because they're going to get a top 10 pick.
No, we all hate them, so we never wanted to see them
I don't want
get
any
better.
I don't want anything good to happen to them.
Yeah.
Do you think because of one pick they're going to get better?
That's happened before.
You ever heard of a guy named Patrick Mahomes?
Y'all need to trust in your defenses a little bit more. But anyways,
season how it went and compared to expectations.
Yeah, so anyways, my expectation, it did not meet it one single bit.
We had them winning 7 games.
Yeah, we had them winning 7 games. I was actually aiming anything between 6 to 9 games, 9 being the best, but 6 being the worst. We did pick 7, but didn't even reach to it, so it doesn't really matter. It was actually a really surprising season. Nobody thought the Colts were going to be good in the first half of the season. The Jaguars were, definitely a team that was a surprise. So a lot of teams that I thought was going to be an easy win, those teams just, completely did a 180. But besides that, this team was very it started off good, obviously with 1 game. These haters want to call it luck, but I
didn't say it was luck.
They're just mad because they couldn't beat them. But
that's
anyways,
true. The Raiders were the only team in the AFC West to beat the Patriots this year. God damn it, that sucks.
But anyways, after that week 1 game, I was really excited because it was probably the first time in a while in the last 5 seasons that I've seen the Raiders actually come out of the second half and made changes from the first half and came out with the dub. I was super excited. I thought that, we finally had a smart OC. We had a head coach that was just letting them coach. But literally 3 weeks later, you just start seeing this team just fall apart. You can tell that there's some not even miscommunication. There's just something going off between the coaches. It was just a really weird
Coaches
season.
in the front office, really.
Yeah, the front office too. I wasn't really trying to get ahead of it, but one of the biggest turning points that I was going to bring up was after the Colts game, because we lost Colin Miller. And, Pete was he was trying to prove to everybody that he can turn this team around, but it just seemed like the GM really wasn't going out there and looking, trying to get talent, trying to, give him what he needed. He was just like, nah, dude, I am not giving up my draft picks. This is not an overnight overhaul. I need to save all this. So it just didn't look like they were both in the same mindset. They didn't have the same vision. Pete Carroll was trying to turn this over, overnight, where Spytek knew that, he had time. So, the whole week 1, like I said, it was, that's what we thought it was going to be. But after that, it's just slowly everything started appearing. It was just a really weird season, just seeing a bunch of people not seeing eye to eye. I think the only thing that was good, honestly, was defense. But, how far can a defense carry a team until, they get exhausted and this damn offense continues to make turnovers, mistakes, costly, penalties? It was just very, it was weird. It was just, I've never seen... I witnessed the 2006 season, and that's when they went 2-14. And that offense was more organized than the offense that I saw this season. I am not joking. And the fact that like Tom Brady paid $6 million to fucking Chip Kelly, it blows my mind. So that's why like when like the last couple of weeks when we were talking about coaching, I was like, Spytek, just do your work, leave Brady at home. I know he was involved in everything, and obviously we got Kubiak now, so it's there's hope. But yeah, this past season it was just a complete mess. I would say they were trying to get Ben Johnson. That was like their whole goal. They were trying to get Matthew Stafford, but at the same time, none of all that stuff didn't fall through. So they kind of just went for what was available, which was technically, I guess, Geno Smith and fucking Pete Carroll. But yeah, expectations that were not met whatsoever.
No,
this
this
team took like 10 steps back. Like I said, I think defense was okay up to most part season. It was actually ranking pretty good towards like the middle of the season, but like I said, there was games where the defense was. If you looked at the time clock, the other team had the clock so much compared to the Raiders. It was unfair, basically. Like it was ridiculous.
Well, yeah, that goes to show that the defense too wasn't as good as you think because they weren't able to get them off the field.
They were, but like but you can tell like towards the second half, you can see that's where they were all scoring because obviously the entire first half they were in the field. That's kind of what like that's honestly. I mean, I would even say it versus the Chargers and the Broncos. Like the first half, why did it always seem like it was super close, but you guys were always controlling the entire game because the defense would get the ball back for the offense, but the offense couldn't do shit. They were just 3 and out right away, or give a turnover. Like how many interceptions did fucking Geno throw? So yeah, exactly. So it was just like the defense. I'm not saying the defense was elite or anything, but it was a lot better than I thought it was. I thought I thought the defense was going to be the issue. I thought the offense because of Chip Kelly. I thought like we had pieces that were this offense wasn't going to be this horrible at that point.
Yeah, they definitely have weapons for sure. Which going forward, you could still kind of hang your hat on. So I don't know. Is it even worth asking? Was this season a success?
No, it was not a success. Not even close. I mean, honestly, I would say this. It was kind of a success because now there's a path for us where we can get our future quarterback.
Yeah.
Now that, I mean, right now news is saying that we got Kubiak. So I do believe that with him and our young quarterback, they can build something. I kind of see them building something. I know it's going to take time. So I'm totally fine with that because I'm tired of this like overnight thing. Like even if we do have success one season, the next season we're just back to where we began.
Yeah,
and we just spent a lot of money. So I'm hoping Spike can
this year again.
I mean, luckily we're still top 3 in money. So, but yeah, imagine spending like thousands or millions on like a bunch of
millions
free agents. And
definitely not thousands.
No, you guys can honestly turn this around within a year. At least get up into the middle of the pack if they trade Max Crosby.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's definitely on the table. I also saw that Michael Mayer's on the table too. I wish they would keep Michael Mayer at least.
They should have done it last year.
But at the end of the day, that's them. Like, dude, I would say that last off season and during the off season, I didn't want to trade Max Crosby. But after this season, that was the way we had it, and with the way how I see that we definitely need a big rebuild. It's only right. It's only right to move on from Crosby. It's, he's a Raider through and through, but at the end of the day, give him what he wants, and he wants a championship. Trade him to whatever team he wants to be traded to. Get whatever you can out of it, and just move on. Like,
they're not going to trade him to a team he wants to get traded to, unless it's the team that's giving up the most.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, to be honest with you, even last year, like Kansas City was definitely like asking. Detroit was asking, and he even said to himself, "I would never go to Kansas City." Like he was like, I think the teams that he would try to go to, and not trying to get too into it, but it's like Washington, maybe Detroit because he is from Michigan, so maybe he wants to go play there. But somewhere like I don't see him being in the division. I honestly don't even see him in the AFC. Maybe with the Bengals, just because it's that area. But
We'll see. We'll see.
He likes
Yeah.
Michigan. Harbaugh's from Michigan. Just saying, throwing it out there.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were saying
no, that's
Michael
not
Mayer,
gonna
and they were also bringing up the Broncos. I was like, yeah,
That's not happening.
Nah.
We'll see.
But
Yeah,
anyways.
I think the Raiders are better off actually having the season that they had than the season we predicted. Because if you have 7 wins, then you're bringing back Pete Carroll. You're not firing Pete Carroll for winning 7 games. He's going to be 79 years old or whatever next year. A guy that doesn't want to build for the future because he needs to win now because he'll be dead soon.
Yeah.
That's a little dark.
That's messed up, dude.
That's
Hey,
a
you're
little
the one
dark.
that-
I'm not going to say that.
I'm like, you're the one that's saying all this.
He's in great shape. He's going to be alive for a long time. But I mean, he's not going to be able to coach for a long
the
time.
heck out of that gun, man.
But I mean, the Raiders winning only 3 games, getting themselves the first pick in the draft. You get to move on. You get a quarter or a coach like Kubiak, which seeing a Kubiak in a Raiders gears is going to be hard for Bronco fans. But I mean, they're definitely set up for a better position than they would be if they won 7 games. Because then you're picking 13, 14 in the draft, and that doesn't really get you much.
Yeah, top 15
especially
for sure.
in this draft class where you're not looking at a quarterback at 13 or 14.
No, not even close.
So
Yeah,
now you're looking at Geno Smith being your quarterback next year again. So, yeah, I think, honestly, you could kind of look at the Raiders and say this season was kind of a success because there was no Super Bowl in the Raiders' future this year. There wasn't even the playoffs. So if you're going to miss the playoffs, at least set yourself up for a better future, which they did.
Yeah, so that's why I like. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, now you know why I was cheering for you guys when the Chargers lost Justin Herbert, and you guys, what was it, 63 something? I don't know.
That was a ton.
Yeah, that's why I was like, good. Like, we have no future here.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert's done for the season. Our season is finished.
Co-party.
Lose until we get a higher draft pick.
Yeah.
We all cope one way or another. Anyways, but
Let's go surprise player.
my surprise player, honestly, there's not really much.
No.
But the one player that I would honestly say that's really surprised me, especially being behind a horrible O-line, is Ashton Genty. Sure, he didn't rush over 1,000 yards. He was only 25 yards under, but in total yards, he was 13. I think he made over 1,300. I don't remember, but 10 touchdowns. He had a pretty solid season behind a horrible offensive line. So it's, like I said, having a really bad season the way we had and seeing a rookie being able to have those type of stats.
Yeah, but he was drafted 6th overall. You had to expect him to be pretty good. Was there anyone else that maybe you didn't have on the radar as
Yes. Okay. So I kind of figured out it was gonna be a little too easy. There is one player that I was, so during the free agency, this is how I also knew that we weren't really trying to win a bunch of games, because during free agency we signed a lot of prove it deals, and one person who really stood out to me was Eric Stokes, the cornerback. He wasn't too flashy, not a lot of turnovers, nothing like that, but he didn't give up too many yards. He was top 10 and not giving up too yards. I forgot how you say it. Yards given up. I think, yeah, so he was 8th, I think, and Surtain was 4th or 3rd or something like that. So, him being top 10 and just for having a prove it deal, and him the last 4 seasons, because he was a first-round pick for the Packers, but after his rookie season, he was hurt for the next 3 seasons. Packers moved on from him. First season with the Raiders, stays healthy, and has a pretty solid game.
Yeah.
I mean season, sorry.
Right.
So, yeah, I would say him.
Okay.
Eric Stokes.
Yeah, for sure. We kind of already did turning points. So, was there a game that you actually enjoyed as a Raider fan this year
Yes.
that kind of represented
Game
the
1.
season?
No, there was
The only one.
game 1 was a very exciting game, but I would say against the Titans. It was certainly an easy game, but Titans were not a pushover. That defense was pretty solid. They definitely gave the Raiders everything they had, but Raiders were able to sneak one out. That defense with the new coach is going to be solid. The Titans defense is low key pretty good.
Yeah. We'll see what the Titans do next year. They should be a little bit better.
Can't get any worse.
Yeah. High and low point? There's a lot of low points. Was there a high? Well, I
The
guess
highest
there is.
point
there a
was
high
probably
point,
the
first
only
of all?
highest point was, like I said in the beginning, is week 1, because it was the first time in many years that I've seen the Raiders, make changes in halftime to make, and come out with the win. the low points, where the fuck do I start?
The rest of the season.
But to be
Everything
honest,
after that.
but honestly, it's gonna be my turning point. My lowest, no, the lowest point I'm gonna say honestly is gonna be the game that got Chip Kelly fired. Like for me, I was like, bro, how can you go ahead and not rush the ball with your number 6, with your number 1 pick, and like just you basically went out there like, are you like I'm gonna fucking have the worst game
I got
ever.
6 mil.
Yeah,
Fire me
like
already.
fuck this. So that was basically the lowest point. I was like, and then losing to the Cowboys, especially like with a lot of family family that's fans of the Cowboys, hearing all that shit, dude, shit was annoying. And they were that bad. That was even worse.
Yeah. Chip Kelly just wanted to go hang out with his brother for the rest of
Yeah,
the season.
he was tired of Pete. I know he was tired of Pete Carroll's shit. I know that for a fact. I could only imagine after a while, you're like, dude, shut the fuck up already. Like we've all had that boss where they just love to talk and be. I'm like, dude, shut up, just leave already.
Yeah.
Like, leave me, let me do my job. So,
Fair.
anyways,
Okay, I think that pretty much covers the Raiders. Let's do quick IPAs and seltzers for the season.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyone that's still sticking around for us through the hour that we've been recording, really appreciate you. IPA stands for Impact Player Award. Give it to a player every week, but we'll do one for a season, and then we give a seltzer out to someone who doesn't deserve a beer, and they get a seltzer instead.
They get kicked out to the curb with a seltzer as a what do they call it? A consolation prize.
There you go. What is it in Pineapple Express when he doesn't want to give him the good weed? That guy that
You get the Snickle Fritz.
he gets the Snickle Fritz.
Lingerers.
Can linger, man. So let's do that. IPAs. I haven't really thought about mine, so why don't someone else go ahead? IPA for the
I
season.
can take it.
I'm not trying to make mine too like.
Yeah, same. I don't want to
obvious.
go too obvious.
Mine's gonna be a little obvious.
Yeah, I already know where you're going. If man.
Oh no, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No, I was going with Tuli 2.02.
Oh yeah, he had a great.
Man,
year.
he had a great
Yeah.
season. Not just the sacks. The sacks would get up there. He got double digits. He didn't quite get the 16, like I said, but he got 13 and a half. And he took the last game of the season off, so could have gotten another 1 or 2 in there. But not just the sacks. It was honestly the setting the edge. He's really learned that from Khalil Mack, setting that edge. As Khalil Mack's gotten older, he doesn't have those sack numbers, doesn't have that get off he used to have, but he's taught everyone around him how to set that edge and how to be physical. And then once Odafe came in, they ran that all 3 pass rushers. It seemed like after that, Tuli started to eat, and Tuli really came into his own. I hope he really gets paid this year, because if you wait another year, it's just gonna be that much more expensive. So Tuli was my IPA player of the year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a good year, man. I'm going to go with kind of a similar player in Zach Allen. Don't want to just give it to Bo, even though Bo definitely deserves an IPA, especially now he's nursing a broken ankle. But Zach Allen, getting second team All-Pro year before, getting bumped up to the first team All-Pro this year, just wrecking things there in the middle. The Broncos defense doesn't look anything near as good as it does without him. Just a monster. So key piece of that defense, and he'll be there again next season. So enjoy that Cancun IPA, Zach Allen.
So my IPA was actually going to be my surprising player of the season. This dude did not get no time playing. Like, he didn't get no game. Like, he didn't start a game at all. He was very limited in snaps. I don't know why Pete decided to put the rookies so late in the season. But in the limited time that he had, he came out with 4 sacks, and that's Tonka Hemingway. Dude, that fool is... I'm excited for him. In the limited snaps, he can get to the quarterback. He can disrupt the quarterback. J.J. Pegues is more of that nose tackle. So I'm excited for these 2 rookies. With limited time, they showed pretty good promise. I mean, it was against Kansas City, and they were pretty hurt. And it was against Houston, but, I mean, against Houston was the one that kind of shocked me the most. I was like, man, why didn't we not start these guys, like, a lot sooner?
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous. But Tucker Hemingway, 4 sacks, very, very limited snaps. It was insane how we did not start him, but yeah, he's solid.
Okay, nice. All right, let's hit Seltzers before we talk a little bit about this Super Bowl coming up. Seltzer, let's just go around the horn again. IPA, or I'm sorry, Seltzers. Omar,
My seltzer.
your name is not IPA.
No, my name is not IPA. No, my seltzer is going to have to go to the man that led probably one of the worst offensive lines in the league. In the middle there, Bradley Bozeman. There was a stat throughout this later portion of the season that came out on like a Sunday night game. He was 44th out of 44 centers. There's only 30 teams.
Yeah.
So
You're worse than the
people had to
backups.
get hurt
Yeah.
for other people to be worse, or for him to be worse than other people still.
Right.
So 44th out of 44 centers. And he said at the end of the season, I felt like I had a solid year.
Yeah, that's
a
right. I
solid
did see
year
that
of
quote.
letting your quarterback get his ass beat, letting free rushers just go at him. There was a portion of the season, playing the season, where Justin Herbert calls out where the pressure's coming from. And then Bradley Bozeman says, it's coming from that way. Comes this way, free rusher, Justin Herbert just eats dirt.
Mm-hmm.
And that just exemplifies how the season went for him.
Yeah.
So Bradley Bozeman, you get this seltzer. As much as a good guy you are and the team loves you, I really hope you're not back next year unless you're the water boy.
That'd be a big ass water boy. Yeah, though that's a good one. Yeah, my seltzer, I hate to do it, and I have to do it because he made me look bad all season.
Oh, damn.
And
That should go to you if you're the person that I'm thinking. That seltzer should go to you.
We'll split it.
He already got his last week.
Yeah. Evan Ingram and I will split a seltzer. Getting signed this offseason. Supposed to be the Joker of the offense, really open things up, give a bunch of different
I have
looks.
my glasses on, fuckers.
You had your glasses on, you stupid idiot. So, yeah, I mean, it never panned out. I think he only had one game where he kind of was a factor. Still under contract coming back for next year. I still have faith that next year is the year for Evan. No, he seems like a really cool dude. So
Red shirt season.
Oh, that's what it was.
I wish the best for Evan Ingram. I hope he's a Bronco next year and then he turns it on. But until he does, I'm not going to put my neck out there anymore.
At this point, I don't think you got a neck to put out there.
It's been sliced and diced to death for sure. It never clicked this year. Maybe next year's the year. But until then, yeah, Evan Ingram and I guess, are splitting a big tall can of seltzer.
Just like Alex said, maybe next week's the week. Every week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did.
I did. Maybe next year.
All
right. Plenty of options with the Raiders. Who you going with?
Plenty of options. And obviously everybody thinks that I'm going to go with one personal person, but I'm going to follow Omar's lead, and I'm going to go Brendan Carroll, our fucking offensive lineman coach.
Yeah.
I said it in the beginning of the season that he was a big concern. His experience I was questioning his experience. I had a lot of questions about, his coaching and everything, especially in the university, because it wasn't the greatest at all. But yeah, the fact that your players had to meet after practice to make up their own calls, that says it all.
What a disaster.
Nepo baby.
Yeah, Nepo baby. Yep.
That says
Nepotism.
it
Yep. That'd be so funny if after they fired Pete Carroll, they kept him. That's the offensive line, or maybe promoted him to offensive coordinator.
Dude,
That would be a Raider move for sure.
I would rip the rest of my hair off. I literally would. Like, I would be like, what the?
Those are some pretty good seltzers to give out.
Yeah.
All right, so last IPAs and seltzers for the season until next year.
Yeah, I mean they gotta
They went
deal with
fast.
those.
Yep.
Those the guys got the seltzers. Got to deal with those all off season. I don't know if they'll be able to handle that.
I sure as hell am not looking forward to it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Super Bowl before we get out of here. Not going to talk about it much, just maybe give some predictions.
I think we all had Seattle winning every game, right? Throughout our picks.
Yeah, we pretty much had Seattle as our Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
I think when we first started, actually, I think we had the Broncos beating the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Which, if Bo didn't,
You guys
There
probably
was
had
a
them
moment that I did pick Broncos
Yeah.
over the Patriots because I thought the Patriots were just too young. And I still think they're young, and I think that's the reason why
Yeah.
they're gonna lose. But dude, it's the NFL. This whole freaking season's been really weird. So there's a doubt in my mind that the Seahawks might lose.
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, any given Sunday, the spread isn't crazy.
Good movie.
They could go out and win if Darnold has a bad game, and Drake May plays better than he has because he has been great in the playoffs. Just kind of getting dragged across the finish line by playing teams without an offensive line or without a quarterback. So, God, the more I think about this game, I just get saltier and saltier with the Patriots. Bunch of fucking frauds, man. But they've got their way to the Super Bowl, and I think they're going to get crushed. I hope it's a good game, just so it's something for us to watch while
Yeah.
we're getting together on Sunday. But I don't have faith that it's even going to be a game. I think the Seahawks just kicked the shit out of the Patriots.
I'm saying Seahawks for sure, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we come back next week and be like, "What the fuck."
I don't even want to talk about it. If the Patriots win, I'm going to be so pissed.
Like that's
Yeah.
that's
I'm
what
going to be
saying.
so
Like,
pissed because I'll just be thinking,
'Cause
damn, the Seahawks weren't that good. The Broncos would be. I'd be in Denver at the fucking
Because
parade.
I'll be
instead
honest
of
with you, like I'm
recording this podcast.
not calling the Patriots elite defense, but they make
They're good.
turnovers.
They're good.
They're
good
good.
on
They're a good
defense.
defense.
You
Not
know,
gonna
so
on
like
defense.
I'm not saying the Seahawks are gonna like just run through them. So Sam Darnold has definitely like he can have a good game. He's had them before, especially against good defenses. But
Yeah,
you
JSN
just
versus
never
Christian
know.
Gonzalez is going to be a fun matchup. That's probably the one thing I'll be watching while we're watching the game.
I think that the running game for Seattle is going to be too much for them to handle.
Yeah, I think they'll just
I
be
don't
able
know.
to
I feel
control
like
the game.
Cabernet is
I feel like-
really good.
I feel like it's gonna come down to the quarterbacks because I feel like both of them have good running backs.
I think it's going to be the running game, and even if it's not they
got Stevenson and they got Henderson.
yeah, but their running game hasn't been there. It's been more of the passing game to the runners.
last week I'm surprised they didn't really. I mean, yeah,
Drake
last
May's
week.
been probably
I'm
getting more
surprised against the
rushing yards
Broncos. They
than
didn't
either of
even.
them.
No, but I'm surprised that against the Broncos. Henderson only got like 4 carries.
Yeah, he wasn't a factor
I'm like
at all.
surprised like he didn't even like get more carries.
I'm
'cause
telling you, they
he's
haven't
the
been
one.
running the ball a lot.
Yeah, but he's the one who's been getting the most like big plays, like the one those runaway
Well, the
plays.
way that game played out, where the blizzard hits in the second half, and the Patriots have the lead, like you just want to pound the ball, and that's where you got Stevenson because
Yeah.
he's definitely the guy that you could pound the
Bulkier guy,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one that's going to get those tough yards.
where you could just say hit
Run
the
the
A,
ball 3 times
hit
and-
the A gap, pick up 3-4 yards.
Exactly.
We'll do it
But
again
that's
and
what I'm
again and
saying.
again.
Excuse me. I feel like against, this upcoming game, like they have a 2-headed monster, basically.
But so does
Seattle does too.
No, they only the
Cabernet is so good.
And-
Cabernet is
and
better
he's
than
hurt.
Stevens. Is he hurt?
Yes, look it up.
I just know that Cabernet is really
Yeah,
good.
Walker's the only one that's.
And even Kenneth Walker is really good.
He is
too.
good, but he's because I saw that. How like there's Instagram videos where they say, "Oh, you should bet on this person."
Yeah.
Well, there's a bet for the backup, not the second string because he's a third, but him to either have 1 catch or 2 carries, one of those two, to hit over that. So yeah, I think he said that he was hurt. So
Well, if you had to put a number to it for a prediction, what would you?
I don't think it's close. I think the Seahawks win something like 24-10. I think it's not even as close as that score represents. I think the Seahawks get up early and just control the game. I don't think it's going to be much of a game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's hope for our sake. I hope it's a little more high scoring than that. I hope it's like a 28, at least 28-17, 28-20, something like that. Just at least give us a little bit more to watch and not just kind of be over it by halftime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's still going to be Seattle on top.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a lot closer than that. It's gonna be 26-23.
I hope you're right,
24,
man.
sorry.
I hope you're right. You still have the Seahawks winning.
Seahawks. man.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know. Something
That
tells me
defense
this
is really
defense
good.
is very solid, and then Sam has been having a really good playoff. So I don't know. I don't see him. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, I don't remember
it's
him.
The NFL
I don't
for me.
remember him having a bad game all season.
Yeah,
like a bad game where you could be like, he lost the game. He might have had some bad moments or like a bad moment at the end, but that was just like, all right, it's either he took us up and above or it just ended there.
Yeah.
It's not like he lost us the game.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that covers it. That's our last prediction of the year. Yeah.
Of the football season. Because this is just our, third of the year? Fourth of the year? 2026, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The
'cause
season.
in September. Yeah.
Yeah, we still got some more to predict this upcoming
Indeed.
season.
Quite a few, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah. Hey, you got to look at it half glass or glass half full.
Okay. That's good. Speaking of glass half full, 369 days until Bo Nix wins his first Super Bowl. Cheers.
I said half full, not empty.